Mike, Lynn, Memorial League, Week 3, Power Rankings. Well, hey everyone, it's Saturday when I'm doing these. This is the second time recording this. The first time I was going to open with a little Glenn Fry action, but apparently he's got some great digital watermarks on his Spotify account, and YouTube muted my video. So this is take 2, and that's my excuse for being late. Let's take a look at what happened last week. Week 2 results. Meat Eaters, Barbecue Stern Rake, 81-48. Man at Work, Twerks Past, Juchi's Giant Jocks, 90-64. Stuntcock by his foreskin over yesterday's corn, 37-34. Logan's Rogers ekes past Homies, 71-69. Nice. Tommy's Terminators extinguish Team Mangravy, 52-37. And Weapons of Matt's Distraction. Nice name. Not. Coasts Past Straight Outta Lotion, 71-54. League average, 59.5 points. Let's take a look at a new feature for this week. I lied. This is not a new feature. Here's the standings and what the site thinks of the power rankings. The site obviously is only ranking the teams based on results so far, whereas I try to take at least a little bit of a forward-looking approach to the power rankings. See, Tom, Dave, Rob have division leads as well as Jeremy. So still 2 weeks in, I don't think it means much, but the 0-2 teams really need to get a win here, I think, this week. Starting off in an 0-3 hole will be tough. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is take a look at a new feature. Studs and Duds. Okay, so pulling a little info off the site here. You got your top 5 teams. Man at Work take down the King Salami with over Dave. So you can see one of the things I want to point out, your top 5 bench players. Forte would have won a game. Corey Coleman, no one really expect to start. Tannehill, no one really expect to start. So that was really the only mistake this week. The big mistake was Forte. He saw Travis Benjamin maybe is the new go-to guy for the Chargers. Isaiah Crowell looking like Matt got the better of the two backs back when Duke went ahead of Crowell. And LeGarrette Blount is looking like a top 8, top 5 running back so far. Anyway, we'll do this every week to kind of take a look at who some of the top performers were. All right, moving on, let's take a look at where everybody's ranked. Number 12, Stuntcock. Sitting at 1-1, staying in 12th place. Less than 10 combined points from the keepers. That's Russell Wilson, Allen Robinson, obviously Keenan's out for the year, and Tyler Lockett. And I'm struggling because Seattle offense is just basically broken. I drafted all those old stinky running backs, and Foster's already hurt. I guess the only thing I really got going for me is that Stephon Diggs looks like a stud. Number 11, Yesterday's Corn. 0-2, stayed in 11th. Would have won if he played Forte. Looks like Doug Martin got a little banged up. You got the Atlanta running back problem. You got both the running backs. Between the two of them, they're a very good fantasy running back, but it looks like Tevin's been outscoring and out-touching Devontae to a certain extent. On the plus side, Mariota looking sharp. Maybe a keeper on your hands there. Number 10, Team Mangravy. 0-2, moving down a spot from 9th. Talked a little bit last week about Lamar Miller maybe having some lack of efficiency when he got a lot of touches, and that seems to be the case. Getting the ball a lot, but not scoring touchdowns. Ryan Matthews, I think he's been on your bench, scoring TDs, though, so looks like we might have a pair of decent running backs. Saw Jay Brown gets loose and scores a touchdown. Whoops. It wasn't John Brown. It was Jatavius or the other guy. Wrong one. And then I think if you want, you need Eifert back. If you want to have a more balanced team and start winning some games. Number 9, Juchi's Giant Jocks. 0-2, tough loss for the week though. Scored a decent amount of points. I think the foundation for this team is pretty good. Greg Olson's obviously a stud. Will Fuller's looking good. Looks like George Stewart, the Vikings wide receivers coach, who was hot to trot for Mr. Fuller, was right. I think it's all rainbows and bunny rabbits for this team going forward. I see a rise in the rankings as we move on. I don't think this is a 9th place team. I think it's probably a top half of the league team. Number 8, Straight Out of Lube. 0-2, big drop from ranked 3rd. I do try and take a forward-looking approach, but the 2 losses combined with the Adrian Peterson injury are tough. When I made the slides here, you had not yet traded for D'Angelo, so I think that was a smart trade, despite what you had to give up. I think McKinnon is better, at least for the offense. Maybe not for fantasy, but better for the offense than AP. And if you play him, I think it'll work out. It appears that Fitzy's kind of an ageless wonder. I mean, he's looking like a wide receiver 1. And then the other thing is Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback, and nobody likes him, including his teammates. So that explains the drop to 8. Number 7, Homies. So 1-1, moving up a spot from number 8. The Stewart injury hurts, and I think you're going to have to go with double tight end lineup, which is fine. It's got Martellus Bennett there, and he's pretty good, I've heard. I don't think you can afford another injury, though. If you do, this goes from being a top half, a good team, to a bad one pretty quickly. Number 6, Logan's Rogers. You done messed up, Aaron. Are the days of Aaron Rodgers being an elite QB, both in fantasy and reality, behind us? Hope so. Julio, health issues, got his calf. It's like every week he's got a new leg injury, and it doesn't seem to matter. He plays through him and scores. He lost Woodhead, so he was your second best running back, and he's out for the year. I think you've got some depth at wide receiver. Maybe time to trade some of that to balance out the team. Otherwise, it might be a middling year for Logan's Rogers. Number 5, Weapons of Matt's Distraction. Nice name, not. 2-0, moved you up from number 6. And frankly, you would have been moved higher, but 2 things are keeping you down in the rankings here. 1, you asked to be ranked higher. Fantasy gods frown upon that sort of thing. You can't say, move me up in the power rankings. You just got to let it happen. And number 2, I put these slides together at work, and this busty young woman is, I have to have her on my screen on your slide, so that moves you down too. Anyway, so I was thinking, hey, the Le'Veon Bell return looms large for your team, but then you went and traded D'Angelo away because Melvin Gordon is looking like he was worthy of keeping. I questioned that one. You appear to be right on that one. And now Danny Woodhead's out, so his role is only going to increase. I said last week he needs some of the receivers to step up. Sterling Shepard is looking pretty darn good, but Kevin White is not. So you're number 5. Number 4, Meters. You know, I can't not be jealous of that bolo tie wearing, gunslinging fantasy hero in your starting lineup named Mr. Phillip Rivers. So he's good. The Latavius Murray selection and being your basically top running back, it's worked out so far, but you're living on borrowed time there. He's not going to keep scoring touchdowns if he's not getting the ball 20 times a game. Looks like Odell has been bottled up so far. The only place he's going to go is up. So I wouldn't be too worried about that, but his lack of production to be still 2-0 without him really doing much is good. And then it appears Deshaun Jackson hates Kirk Cousins, so it'll be interesting to see how his production is affected by their lack of chemistry. Number 3, Stern Rake. It's at 1-1. Moved down from number 1. Still the highest ranked team with a loss. I might have spoken too soon on Luck, or was that just the Denver D? I don't know, but he looked bad last week. Amir out for the year. That hurts. Bad luck this week with AJ and Cooks being shut down. So it's basically why you lost, and I don't see both of those guys being shut out 2 weeks in a row or in any week together. Looks like Coleman goes to scores and puts up a good week, and then I think he's out for a while. He hurt his thumb or something. And then the Gio touches. So if they're playing from behind, and that's good Gio Bernard game flow if the Bengals are losing, because he plays a lot in the passing. He had 9 catches over 100 yards last week, so he could remain pretty productive and maybe fill in where you were hoping to get points from Amir. Number 2, Tommy's Terminators. 2-0, still in second place. Okay, so you're hurt by Checkdown Charlie, Derek Carr, last week. I'm pretty sure he wears guy liner and is afraid to throw the ball in the air more than 10 yards. And I don't think you started him, but it affected Amari Cooper's production. Saw DJ kind of bottled up. He still had like 148 all-purpose yards, but then they were up by so much that they just kept giving the ball to Chris Johnson. Where's Gronk? Well, we know he's back now because it's Saturday now, but when I put this together, we weren't sure what the deal is with him, although he needs an actual quarterback in the lineup to be productive. And then Tom, I was like, DeMarco Murray, why do you want to keep him? And look at that. He's still good. Maybe it was just a bad fit in Chip Kelly's offense because he's running the ball hard and has a significant role in the passing game. So looks like a legit he's your RB2, and he's a very good one, and he's a high-end RB2. Number 1, Mana Twerk. 2-0, up from 4th place. You got the King of Salami. I said last week you got a team full of touchdown makers and just like big dudes, and that's what's happening. Kelvin is a beast. Mike Evans is fixing the fact that he didn't score at all last year. I do think Lacey's being completely misused by McCarthy. I mean, McCarthy just gets a little too cute sometimes. He had Starks in there on a 4th down run play when he could have really given the ball to Lacey in the second half, and you might have seen a different result of that game. And then the last part of that, Vikes D looks like it might be double-digit points every week. And so my days of mocking people for their drafting defenses early and keeping defenses, those might be over because I have 2 awful ones, and I'm going to be hurting, and I think the best teams have good ones. All right, let's take a look at my predictions for this week.
Football in America is a special game, a unique game, played nowhere else on earth.
Predictions.
A rare game.
Stern Rake
Make it so.
keeps Team Mangravy in the cellar with a 61-49 win. Straight out of Lotion, or Lube, with a stroke or 2 on Homies, 52 50. Man at work. Sneaks past the upstart. Weapons of Matt's distraction. 72-67. Meat Eaters gives it to Stuntcock. 69-41. Yesterday's Gorn gets in the win column with a 10-point victory over Tommy's Terminators. 57-47. And Juchi's Giant Jocks also finds his first win of the season with an easy win over Logan's Rogers. 59-44. Alright, gentlemen, good luck this week. Congratulations to all the winners. Better luck this week to the losers, except for you, Dave.